health coach? As a health coach, you're going to run into a variety of different personality types among your clients. We all hope that all of our clients are going to be open, willing to share, and forthcoming. But unfortunately, they won't all be like that. You may end up with a client who is quieter or more reserved, which can feel challenging for sure. They may be hesitant to share their thoughts or express their emotions, which can make you feel like you aren't doing a great job and that you're not a great coach. Well, I am here to tell you today that it is not your fault. You aren't doing anything wrong. And with the right approach and a few tools in your toolkit, you can absolutely help quiet and reserved clients open up and make progress toward their goals. So today I have 7 top tips for coaching quiet or reserved clients. So my first tip is to create a safe, judgment-free space. So quiet clients may need some extra reassurance that they can share their thoughts without judgment, and they might just need to feel really safe before they open up. So it's important to emphasize and reassure that your sessions are 100% confidential and that you're there to listen, not to criticize or judge, and that it is a safe place for them to open up and share. This will help to build that trust and safety and encourage that openness. Tip number 2 is to be patient and embrace the silence. So I know if you're a new health coach, silence can feel uncomfortable, but when we're working with reserved clients, it can be a really valuable tool, and it's just a great active listening skill. So instead of rushing to fill those quiet moments and the pauses, allow your client some space to really gather their thoughts. Especially if you've asked a high mileage question or maybe something they hadn't really thought of before, they might just need a little bit more time, right, to consider the question and their response. So just give them that extra little bit of space. It's going to show respect for their pace, their needs, and their communication style. So tip number 3 is to use open-ended and high mileage questions. So the way you ask your questions can actually impact the type of response that you get. So closed-ended questions can lead to short one-word answers, and we all know that those closed-ended questions aren't great, but they're even more ineffective with quiet clients. So instead, you want to ask those high mileage open-ended questions. Things like, what's keeping you up at night? Or where do you feel stuck? Or if you could change one thing about your health and wellness, what would it be? And then you could follow up with the tell me more about that type question. These questions are going to invite some more detailed responses and encourage your client to share more of those inner thoughts. So tip number 4 is to start slow and have patience. So reserved and quiet clients may need some time to warm up and get comfortable before they trust enough in the coaching relationship and as you as their coach to dive into those deep personal discussions. Honestly, coaching's like dating, right? It starts slow and it builds gradually. In the beginning, just like on a first date, both of you are getting to know each other. You're feeling out the connection and just establishing that trust. So have that patience, take your time, ask open-ended questions, and really listen carefully. As the relationship progresses, comfort and trust is going to grow. And so each session, the conversations deepen, allowing the client to open up more, much like how people do in building a relationship gradually, sharing more of their hopes, their fears, and their dreams. So tip number 5 is to reflect and validate. So when your client does share, be sure to reflect back on what they've said to show that you are truly listening. Use your reflections to validate what your client is saying, such as, it sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed. This is going to help them feel understood, which really encourages further sharing and builds that trust. So even if your client just says a couple of words, reflect the most powerful word back to them and then follow up. Can you share more about that? And then tip number 6 is to focus on values and visioning. So in the beginning of the coaching relationship, it is really helpful to take some time to have your client do a bit of self-discovery. Things like values and strengths assessments can be really valuable in helping your client get to know themselves, what they stand for and believe in, and what's important to them. And then you can also do some future visioning work to have the client look ahead to what they'd like to achieve and accomplish during the coaching relationship. This is really going to help them get excited about what's possible. So these types of exercises and explorations can be a great way to have your client discover what they're all about and open up even further. And then finally, my tip number 7 is to celebrate their achievements. So quiet clients may be more likely to downplay their achievements. So help them recognize their successes and wins, no matter how big or small. Celebrating these accomplishments can boost their confidence and motivate them to open up even more. A similar technique is to help your client explore what they've done in the past. So we go future and past. What's worked? What tools, strengths, and resources from past experiences could support them in this current challenge that they're facing? This is going to help them realize they aren't starting at square one and they do have some experiences to draw from. So those are my top 7 tips. Let's just recap what those are for coaching quiet clients. Number 1, create a safe and judgment-free zone. Number 2, be patient and embrace the silence. Number 3, use those open-ended questions. Number 4, start slow and have patience. Number 5, reflect, validate. Number 6, explore values and vision. And number 7, celebrate those achievements. With these tips and strategies at your fingertips, you will foster a calm, patient environment, and you'll be better equipped to support your client and those reserved clients on their health journey. I'd absolutely love to hear from you in the comments. How have you handled quiet and reserved clients? Do you have any tips to add to the list? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. See you next time. Bye for now.